Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I am your host, Corey Deering, and alongside me is none other than the PC Muscle Race himself, Mr. LaRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
No sleeves today, huh?
When do I ever wear sleeves?
We decided to bring the show back, and you're already in full LaRon mode.
Oh, you know what? I can go put a better
Just
shirt
shut
on.
up
I mean,
and sit
I didn't know it was formal attire tonight. My bad.
Also joining us, LaRon, is what? You moved her again. I hate this.
Why?
Well, I had this really nice introduction planned, but Stoy is here. Stoy from EXPcast is here
Oh my god.
with his girlfriend Tifa.
Thanks for introducing her.
I didn't want her to feel left out.
No. I was worried you weren't going to say anything, and I thought this was going to be a whole big thing in the intro, and I thought we were going to start fighting right away.
It was, and then you ruined it because you moved her.
I
again.
ruined it.
I guess
she just wanted to sit in a better position.
We didn't want her to feel like a third wheel or
Yeah.
sixth wheel.
Fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, fifth wheel. Yeah.
Okay.
Rounding out
Yeah.
this troop tonight. That voice you hear is Stephanie, writer extraordinaire. That's what I have written in the notes.
Thank you.
How's everyone doing? Everyone doing well?
Oh yeah.
Great.
Swimmingly.
Great.
Yeah.
Dandy.
Great.
Fine and dandy, like sour candy.
Well, we did it. We brought the Boss Rush podcast back.
Woo-hoo! Yes.
So is this the inaugural first one? The
It's
what do they call it? A reboot?
It's like a volume 2 is how we're looking at it.
So is this technically a remake or a remaster?
I would say it's like a new game plus, you know?
New Game Plus? Okay.
Yeah.
The all new, almighty Boss Rush podcast.
Yeah. So
Hey, that's
So
our
it's plus-
that should be the title. That should be the title. The all new, almighty Boss Rush podcast.
Plus. Plus at the end.
Championship Edition Turbo
Yeah.
Super.
Director's cut.
Yeah. DX. Does it have a color dungeon if you put it in your Game Boy Color?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh man, we are off to a swimming start.
When are we gonna start making amiibos of ourselves?
You mean you haven't already?
What's the bonus item that we give out in the game when you scan us though?
Okay, so if you were to be an amiibo, what would be a bonus item you would give out, LaRon?
Wait, come back to me. Come back. I need to
No,
back.
no. This was your thing, LaRon.
You started this, so clearly you had an answer ready.
I did not have an answer. I asked a question. I wanted to hear what everybody else wanted to say. If I were to give out a freebie as an amiibo in a game, it would probably it would probably be the strawberries and cream muscle milk.
Oh gosh.
The pre-mixed stuff, not the powder, because come on, what barbarians did the powder stuff anymore?
Okay, so plus 20 damage. That's what you would give, basically.
Yeah.
Plus 20 damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Strength stat increase.
Yeah. There you go.
Hmm.
So,
Wow.
is anyone else going to take a crack at this?
No.
Well, you know what's really
No.
funny? I can think of what Eddie's would be if he was an amiibo, but not for myself. He would just hand out snacks.
Oh god.
Yeah.
You would just have snacks fall from the sky.
That
Yeah,
sounds
if
on
it-
brand.
It'll be like, at random, so you can get like a super nutritious snack, which is unlikely, or a bad burn a hole in your stomach snack.
I bet you Eddie's the one making those Skittles commercials.
Probably. That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah.
I would like to maybe hand out coffee, maybe make your character go a bit faster.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I could use some coffee, but also I have to be up and it's fine. Everything's
It's
fine.
fine.
It's
Everything's
fine.
fine.
Everything's fine here now. Thank you. How are you? It's great.
How are you?
Great.
Yeah.
Han Solo. Great character. don't know if anybody knew that. He's a good character. So, okay, so before we get into the whole thing, the show, the topics, whatever, LeRon, we kind of ended on a note for this show the last time where we kind of didn't really know what direction to take the show, so we kind of, I don't want to say eliminated it, but it was on hiatus, and we didn't really know how we were going to bring it back, and I'm not, like, at a point when we were recording, probably like, I don't know, maybe after E3, like the first episode after E3 or whatever, my thought was like, we do so much, we have so many people involved with the other shows. Do we really need the Boss Rush podcast, and what purpose does it serve, right? Because people who've been listening to us for a long time know that the Boss Rush podcast started because Ed, Jesse, and I didn't have time to do Arsenal X and Power Block, so we merged them together into one show, right? Then obviously we brought the other shows back. Boss Rush still existed, and we just kind of, it never really had an identity of its own because that was always its identity, right? So now I feel like we brought it back, and this is me personally, is like, I felt like even though the network might not need this show, I feel like selfishly I think I need this show a little bit, and like I feel like it's a way for all of us to interact, because I felt like we lost that when the show disappeared, right? Where like, yeah, everybody, like Power Block has its crew, Arsenal X has its crew, Crossroads has its crew, Celeste is doing her interview stuff, right? And like, but there wasn't that show where we all came together, you know, or at least like a form of all of us came together. And I feel like this is the show that it's like the glue that holds us all together, you know. It's like the point where you're like, hey man, let's grab Stoy this week, let's grab Stephanie this week, let's get more people involved, let's get entertainment stuff involved, let's get the writing stuff involved. Like, I feel like this is the way we kind of decided that it's going. We're gonna come together, we're gonna bring up topics, whether it's a banter piece from the website, whether it's like something going on in entertainment, what we're playing, maybe what we're watching, that kind of thing. And I don't know, LeRon, how do you feel about it? Because we've actually been talking about this for a while.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the flagship for Boss Rush Network. As a matter of fact, not only has the Boss Rush podcast gone through a rebranding, also Boss Rush as a whole went through a rebranding. We're now the network and not just Boss Rush Games on stuff. And honestly, with all the work and dedication that a lot of our contributors put on the website and stuff, like I think one of the best things that we can do as a service for all of our talent is to actually appreciate and have our talent, you know, on the Boss Rush podcast and things like that. It just also helps, like, you know, like a lot of people go to the website, they read our articles, they read our banters, they read our rants, they read our editorials, they read our reviews and stuff like that, you know. But the actual podcast shows, Arsenal X, Power Block, Crossroads and stuff, that's like 1/10 of the talent at Boss Rush. And so it's time to display and show off some of the other talented people, you know. Also, you know, like when you start seeing the face and hearing the voices behind it, it's a lot easier to like digest the articles and stuff like that. And that's one of the things I thought we could really do. We could celebrate our talent here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, it's really easy. It's easier like when you see the faces attached to the writing stuff, especially because like the podcast stuff, like you either watch us live or you watch us on YouTube, whatever. It's easier to find our faces everywhere because, well, look at this. Who doesn't, you know?
Hey,
but
look at us, man.
I know. Look at us. Look at us.
Look at us.
I put on my best hat tonight, just for you, Stoy. You know,
Cap faced back. How does that saying go? Like backwards cap, like Fred Durst. Oh man,
sure.
I had a really good Limp Bizkit line in this show, but I forgot it now.
I feel like you just mentioning Fred Durst though, like insulted, like is an insult for Corey.
I mean, it's not like
at all. Not at all.
It's not
Not
like
at
I
all.
haven't been hearing
Fred
that
Durst
for
is an
like.
amazing human being. Corey, you should be honored. to be compared to Fred Durst.
Here's the thing, though. I've been hearing that ever since I started podcasting, like 7 or 8 years ago. So it's not like a new thing.
I suppose Fred Durst doesn't have a monopoly on backwards caps.
Yeah, I do have the red one though. If you want me to go get it.
Is it a Yankees ball cap?
It
It's
is,
gotta be a Yankees
actually.
ball cap. Okay, there we go.
Mm. I
Next
stopped
episode.
wearing it because of that reference, by the way.
Yeah,
Still in the closet though. It's fine.
you
It's
never
all
know.
fine.
It could go out of style. Then you could bring it back.
I could, but nobody's ever gonna forget early 2000s Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit. Let's be honest.
True.
Let's
That
be
is true.
honest here. It's like when Justin Timberlake had the curly hair in NSYNC. Nobody's ever gonna forget that.
No,
I don't think
I-
Justin is either.
No.
you can't unsee certain things.
You know, Corey, one day you're going to stand up and you're going to say, this time you're going to let it all go wild. And this time you're going to stand up and shout. And you're going to say to yourself, you're going to do things your way. It's your way of the
I hate
highway.
him so much.
One of these days, you're going to say all that.
Who invited this guy? Should have invited Mark.
All right, Stoy. I think it's time to have you back on Crossroads. Like,
But like even Stoy though is like, EXP. You guys have a video version, right? Your stuff's on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
Your video stuff.
we put clips of our episodes. So
Yeah.
like anytime we talk about a particular topic or if we do like a little game review,
Yeah.
we post clips on our
Plus
YouTube channel.
you're a permanent co-host on Arsenal X now, so I mean, like it's easier to see your face. But Stephanie is like, she's the one person here that's not on a podcast regularly. I mean,
yeah.
not that we don't want you regularly, but it's like,
I mean,
I'm just the mysterious guest. I mean, I even have like a different name when I'm a writer. I don't have an identity.
Yeah, she's
fair.
got a trade name.
yeah. She's cool. She's
an
cool
all-star at
though.
Crossroads though.
She's cool though. I mean, like, I wish I was that cool. Mine's dumb.
Hey, hopefully soon I could even make an appearance on Arsenal X because somebody's getting a Series X.
Yes.
I had to work that in there.
Let's do it. Sunday nights, 8:30.
Those
Wow,
quick load times.
Stephanie actually beat me in the race for Series X because I'm trying to get one too.
Hey, I'm trying to get a PlayStation 5 at some point now. Because I mean, there's actually games I want to play on it now. So it's anyways. What was I saying? Where did this all? God, I'm so
sorry,
distracted now.
the
So
network.
initially, you guys were talking about.
Oh, right. Okay.
something
So
with the-
Stoy's Easy Face. So Stephanie is like, she's your copy editor. You're kind of in charge of the writing stuff now with David, and like nobody really gets to see your face and apply it to like what you're writing, right? Like the bucket list idea was such a great idea, right? And I think it was an amazing feat that we did that. And now like our goal here is to promote the people that do amazing things there too. So like, yeah, hopefully you'll be semi-constant on the show too. So,
Great.
so yeah, that's kind of why we decided to bring it back. There's a lot to do within Boss Rush that we should show praise and thanks for, not just the people who put their faces on camera, but the people that work diligently off camera. So
Well, not to be cheesy, but if the name's been updated to network, having different people, come through and introduce themselves on the show, that's how you define networking, really.
yeah.
So, and remember, I started off as a fan, right? Like in my 1v1, I kind of mentioned that. First started with Nintendo Power Block, then I went to listening to just Boss Rush, and then because at PlayStation I started listening to Crossroads, but I didn't know about all like the other members like Lore Together and EXP Cast, and then I started talking to Pat and Stoy, and they're freaking hilarious, and now I always listen to their shit. So like introducing and conversing with these people here is a great way to let people know about all this awesome stuff.
Yeah. Plus, like, I feel like if you can put a face to a personality and apply it to like what you're reading or something, like it makes it that much more enjoyable. Like a lot of the times when I used to go to like IGN or Game Informer or something, and I would listen to their podcasts or whatever, and apply that name to the article, you could kind of like hear that person's voice as you're reading it and like apply their personality to it or whatever. And like, I mean, that's something that I do. I don't know if anybody else does. Maybe I'm just weird, but
I never did that. I thought, Stephanie, you and I talked about that once before, how like if you read a book, like do you read it in a particular voice? I was talking to someone about that, and I don't. I read very boringly.
Stoy plays every part in the book he's reading.
Yeah, every part is me. Like the villain is me, the hero is me, the heroine is me. I'm all the females and the males.
I mean,
the dogs too.
Oh God!
I'm the narrator too.
Oh God! The romance scene. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that gets a little weird.
There's some Stoy on Stoy action.
well, the thing is that I'm pretty sure
action coming to my head.
I'm pretty sure you toss in a Russian accent or two. It's fine.
Absolutely. Well, today I accidentally made fun of a woman with an English accent, and I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
You should hear my Russian accent, I said to her afterwards. She's like, "Oh, I bet you it's brilliant." And I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." And then I ran away.
Oh man, that's a good time. So Stoy and Stephanie, thanks for being here tonight. It's going to be a good time. I feel like.
Thank you for embracing us and inviting us.
Yeah.
I'll just say.
Oh my gosh, LaRon.
What?
Just kidding.
I was just gonna say, like, you know, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna shake things up. We're gonna have fun. You know, like it's gonna be different, but it's gonna be the same Boss Rush podcast that you always know and love.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna see more of our extended faces. Not me and Corey are always gonna be here. Not always.
That's not true. We're both always going to be here, LaRon. Always.
Okay.
Yeah, don't
Every
say
week.
such things.
I was trying to
going nowhere.
I was trying to fire myself. Thanks.
Committed for life.
We can't fire you. You get the clicks because I don't know.
Listen, there always has to be a face and a body for the podcast, and LaRon, you fit both.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's definitely not me. So
Oh, this body's kind of like 20 pounds overweight right now. I don't know if they want all that.
Man, according to the BMI chart at your doctor's office, everybody's overweight.
that's fair.
I think I'm technically obese.
I'm afraid to see what mine says then. Jeez.
Don't even bother. Don't even bother.
Anyways, so before we get into topics, so basically the format of the show is there's gonna be four of us here. Everybody's gonna bring a topic. We're gonna talk about what we've been playing, watching, doing with our lives. Everybody's gonna kind of bring a topic, and we're gonna talk about that topic. And then on the plan is for the show to the full show to release on Monday, and then Monday night through Friday night we're gonna release the topics as pod clips. On the website and on YouTube, because like pod clips, LaRon, you and I talked about pod clips for a while too, where like theoretically it's a good idea, but for me at least, I know Crossroads, for some reason you get like one that hits like a gajillion views every week at some point.
Yeah,
I just feel like I have like maybe we were just flooding the channel with them or something, but like I just feel like I haven't been doing the pod clips in a way that is productive. Right. And it just felt like extra work for no reason. Right. So what I want to try to do with pod clips is do what we've been playing and then the four topics as pod clips at night throughout the week. Right. Because we'll have like one of the main podcasts goes up during the day. A pod clip from this show goes up at night. And then, you know, whatever happens. But we have a couple of announcements as well. Real quick, LaRon,
okay.
We're going to be doing Boss Rush After Dark as a weekly supplemental show.
You guys are making a Pornhub channel?
Yeah.
Giggity.
Making one. We already have one. Where have you been?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Clearly not on Pornhub.
Why not?
If I search it right now, am I going to find it?
I hope not. Jesus.
I'm going to go into incognito mode. Nah, I ain't gonna.
So the plan with After Dark is we want to get to a point where we've talked about launching a Patreon at some point, because I feel like a lot of people do a lot of work at Boss Rush, and I feel like a lot of people deserve to be rewarded somehow, as well as like if you want extra content from us, nothing. So the Boss Rush podcast and all the base shows are still going to be free, right? Like there's no early access really to anything. No, like whatever. Nothing is going to be behind a paywall. If you want stuff like our bonus content, some of it early, some of it is going to be exclusive. But if you want some of it early, like After Dark's going to be, I think, like a week early for patrons, and if not, then you just get it a week later on a separate feed. So LeRon is going to be hosting it. I think it would be pretty boring and pretty sad if I hosted it. So we're going to get somebody that's exciting and,
Oh, come on. No.
Somewhat visually appealing to host the show. And like,
So is LeRon going to be in like a hot tub or something?
Yeah, it's hot tub Twitch streams actually.
I'm going to green screen a hot tub.
That's actually a hilariously awesome idea, actually. I'm going to be honest with you.
Super easy to do. Super easy to do.
So, LeRon, do you want to tell people what your idea is for After Dark? I mean, we've talked about it, but I think it's a great idea, to be honest with you.
So, all right, so all kidding, all jokes aside, After Dark is basically like you guys see a lot of us, in our persona, on our individual shows and stuff like that. So whether it's Crossroads, Arsenal X, like Nintendo Power Block and stuff like that, you see us when we're still being gaming dorks and stuff like that. But guess what? We don't always have that on 24/7. So, so After Dark is going to be one of those shows where you actually get to learn more about our normal personalities. And some of our normal personalities are pretty dorky too. So don't worry, you'll see that.
You mean, LeRon, you're not a excited PlayStation podcast host 24 hours a day, 27 days a week?
Oh no, because I'm an IT guy, which means I also do computer stuff.
God, you're a nerd.
I live on the internet 18 hours a day, which also brings complications.
Do you also
into
sleep
my
in
life.
your Star Trek pajamas? God.
Oh, yeah, and it's a red shirt too. So yeah. But basically, with After Dark, basically, it's going to be the show that we don't really talk about games. If games come up, it happens. But we're not always talking about games. We're talking about like real life stuff, things that are important to us, and we'll also have a spin on it. We'll try to make it so like it's something that's definitely interactive for the audience and for the fans and stuff like that. For the fans, but
Only
the
fans.
Only the fans. Only the fans. Yeah, but basically, like people also want to know that we're human beings and stuff, like not just like super nerd 99 like the host of Nintendo Power Block,
Yeah, those nerds.
Nerds.
Yeah, so yeah, that's basically the premise. Like, like sometimes it might be a little not safe for work, but for the most part, and I don't mean visually. I don't mean visually not safe for work. But yeah, that's pretty much After Dark in a nutshell. Like it's gonna be us being ourselves and talking about things and kind of talking about things that are kind of relevant. So like hell, there might be a little bit of politics involved. There might be just a little bit of normal everyday life stuff involved. Like shoot, like I don't know, like we might just have like one of those philosophical conversations. What's like the best way to cure cancer or something? None of us are smart enough to really figure that out, but it might be nice to talk about it. And no, that's not a topic. That's just the first thing that came to my mind. I know it's like.
Oh man, I was starting to think of some ideas. Like,
me too. I was like, huh.
Well, you could zap it with a bunch of radiation. That could be one way to do it.
Well, don't be like a former not ruler, like a former president of our country and like is like drinking bleach and stuff. No, don't do that.
Sick. That's one way to do it. We'll write that one down.
Just kills everything.
What's everybody using now? Horse tranquilizers or something?
Yeah.
You as a pharmacist, I just want to like gouge my eyes or ears out every time I see or hear that crap. Sorry, that just made me very angry.
Stephanie, you're not up on your horse tranquilizers yet. You're not.
A horse dewormer.
Yeah, I don't want to rot my insides out.
But see, that could be another conversation. Like Stephanie is like a pharmacist in real life and stuff like that. So we could talk about some of the crazy antics that she's encountered without her violating HIPAA.
Got plenty of stories during my overnight shifts back in the day, for sure.
As long as you don't say names, that's it.
Nope.
Mary C. says.
Mary C.
Or like from The Office, there was this dentist named Mr. Crentist who walked into the store.
I had to do that for some social media posts for something I was doing for my other job, and you're not allowed to use real names. So she's just like, make them up. I'm like, okay, like, fake
So
names.
do I
are
get
fun.
points for creativity?
No,
I think you should.
I don't. No points. So the other thing, the other kind of announcement here is I've been working on a revision of we used to have the show called Standard Definition, and it was basically, just kind of like a general conversation type show. I do want to bring that back in some way, but not in the way of like what we were doing. It's actually like the original idea for the show is like a nostalgia show where like say somebody has a real fondness for, I don't know, Back to the Future. The assignment that week is the panel, whoever's going to be on the Back to the Future episode, watches Back to the Future, takes notes, and then we just talk about Back to the Future. And that's going to be that. Or if somebody has a fondness for, like, I don't know, Luigi's Mansion on GameCube, like we play Luigi's Mansion, talk about Luigi's Mansion, and then the next episode will be something different. So
that'd be awesome.
that's that idea for that show. It's not coming soon. I mean, it's going to be a couple months for that because I want to make sure we get After Dark rolling and some of the other stuff we're working on first, and then that'll be like a tertiary project that we do. But that is coming back. I'm excited to do it that way. Because the original idea we had was cool, and like we actually recorded like 4 episodes of it. We did one on the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. We did one on Men in Black, and we did one on the Dreamcast. It was me, Ed, and Jesse, and let me tell you, that Men in Black episode was. It's on our YouTube channel if you want to watch it. That's all I can say.
Oh, wow.
That's all I have to say. It's
I'm trying to piece together what that long pause meant.
I know.
Right?
It's could have gone in many directions.
Yeah. So that's what's coming for the Boss Rush podcast supplemental shows coming soon. So that's the announcements.
Hey, it's like our
Anything
own
else?
very own Boss Rush Direct.
Yeah.
Hey.
I could do that. I'll do that at some point. We should do that. That'd be cool.
Nothing in relation to tomorrow's Nintendo Direct.
Guys, wasn't it cool that Breath of the
I
Wild
want you
2
to
is
go,
out
like,
now?
Here's something from LaRon.
Yeah. No, we need to get somebody that doesn't know how to snap and just can't snap.
Oh,
I can't do it with my left hand. I know I can't.
You know what? I just realized, like, I have a wonderful idea. Like, I think it's time for the different Boss Rush crews to infiltrate the other shows. And when I say infiltrate the other shows, I mean just take them over. Like for example, Crossroads does an episode of Pal Block.
Yeah.
Arsenal X does an episode of Crossroads.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, sports do that a lot, right? Where like the NFL commentators will take over a college game, and the college commentators will take over an NFL game or something. It happens in basketball too. So
yeah. The big challenge though is like you can't just come on the show and come on somebody else's show and trash like.
No,
the
you have to
stuff.
do.
Like,
you have to do it right.
Yeah.
Like
you have to give it the college try.
Like LaRon can't go on Nintendo Power Block and be like, "Well, Mario sucks."
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it like that.
Mario eats duty.
I can be like, this is the reason why Mario sucks, and actually have a conversation about it. But
Loophole. Come on.
I was gonna say, I don't know. Did Pavlak ever mention about how I think Mario is the greatest villain in video games?
No.
Well,
It's an article on the Boss Rush net, bossrush.net.
Look it up.
I know this. I alluded to the fact that Princess Peach is not just as innocent as everybody thinks she is. They're
Her and Bowser are married.
Exactly. Like, there's a reason why she keeps letting herself get kidnapped by Bowser.
Yeah, because they're married and Mario is the jealous villain. Mario is the video game's greatest villain.
Isn't that basically the story in Braid? Isn't that basically what that is?
Yeah.
I didn't play Braid, but I know that. Aren't you playing the bad guy the whole time, like the
Pretty
jealous
much,
stalker guy or whatever? What a terrible premise for a game.
But it was so shocking at the end when you found out.
When you found out,
Yeah.
Oh man, you were the villain the whole time.
Yeah. So that's it. Those are the announcements. There'll be more coming soon. Just keeping you updated. But what are we playing, watching, doing in our lives? Let me tell you guys, I've been watching Ted Lasso show. That is a special show. I love that show. I didn't think I was going to like it.
If I had a nickel for every time someone told me to watch Ted Lasso, I'd have a lot of nickels.
Me too.
A shit ton of nickels.
Here's the
Enough
thing.
to buy like a soda.
Yeah.
A 6-pack.
Could buy a 30 pack of Pabst. We all those nickels.
Wow. I have heard that if you are into soccer, though, it's kind of a turnoff. But
Really?
that's what I've heard people say who are like into.
I think that's probably why I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, because I've heard, and Corey, you may not know this, but I've heard a lot of characters in that TV series are based off of real players.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the more popular players that I know of, Vinnie Jones. He actually did movies. He was Bullet Tooth Tony in Snatch, but he was a very infamous defender in England that would just jump kick and slam people to the ground, like legitimately, like yeah, pretty hardcore. There's actually a very famous picture of him squeezing some dude's nuts, like the plainest picture as day, like him just the handful of nuts. Right in his hand, like grabbing it and holding onto it tight. Big old handful.
This is really an apt description of this picture.
I know.
No, I'm telling you, the picture shows it all. It's like you got a whole handful of it. Like
what?
We're talking full finger squeeze. Like
Hang on, I gotta find this.
Vinnie Jones and Paul Gascoigne. That's the picture you need to watch. You need to Google.
I'm gonna type Vinnie Jones and it finished it for me.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's a very infamous picture. So anyway,
Wow.
but yeah, go on.
Oh,
See, it's a handful. It's a handful.
he's got it all. Jeez.
Yes, all of it, every centimeter, because it's England and they do centimeters over there. Every centimeter, all in
Come
his
on,
hand.
talk about like it's like a lot. I don't know, like.
What are you trying to say?
Man,
it's just like, are they
Stephanie's already like?
are
Stephanie's
these
the
are
first
these
guest on After Dark.
are these balls large? Like, why is this picture so in depth? Laurent, describe the picture to us.
Okay, legit. So we got what we got in this picture is
we're gonna describe testicles. This is our first show back. This is the content. Here it is.
We got Vinnie Jones, and he's got this mean ass grit on his face. Like, I mean, like it looks like he's like gritting his teeth so hard that he's gonna like just fracture all of his teeth. And in his left hand is just full on. Is like he's got this dude right by the crotch, and and poor Paul. I mean, like you can see the look of agony on his face. It's as clear as day. And of course, every man has that stance when something's happened to their nuts.
Yeah.
and that's what's happening in this picture.
He's trying to pull out of it, but
yeah,
Vinnie Jones has too much of a handful.
Yeah.
I think he's like, it's like a Venus flytrap around that dude's nuts.
Oh,
just like
man.
all of it.
It's like
it's like it's not letting go.
The disrespect, I swear.
Yeah.
Like did he even get a card for that?
I don't know actually, because Back then, they didn't have like instant replay, so.
Can you imagine if that was like? Let's watch it again from a different angle now.
Yeah. Like, I mean, in this day and age of sports, that would happen. You'd get multiple takes of that, and like it wouldn't just be immortalized, forever in like just a snapshot picture, because this is like a black and white picture that I'm looking at. It'd be replays. It'd probably be on T-shirts and shit.
Yeah.
Memes, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, what year did that happen? What year was that?
Ted Lasso. I'm sorry to derail. I do that quite often. I'm sorry.
But
fine.
No, for real though. Ted Lasso, like legit, like is like doing like caricatures of like actual like soccer players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought it was all just unique and different.
No,
because I don't watch soccer on that level, so I wouldn't know. I watch soccer from time to time. I don't go all World Cup crazy like 9/10 of the world does, when it comes around and stuff like that. I will watch a soccer game, and not just when I'm at a sports bar or something.
Okay, so Ted Lasso and testicles. Corey, what else?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Ted Lasso I just like how positive the show is. There's just like a lot of crap going on, and it's just like it's kind of like just like a nice positive show.
Yeah. Who's the actor? It's Sudeikis?
Jason Sudeikis is Ted Lasso. Yeah.
I like him. And speaking of Boss Rush Network, we do have, I believe, weekly reviews on the entertainment side of things.
Yeah. Yeah. The Ted Lasso reviews go up every Saturday, right? Saturday? The entertainment reviews go up on Saturdays, I think, or Sundays. One of those days.
One of or the other.
Yeah. One of those days on the weekend that starts with S, it goes up. It's fine. So I've also been playing a lot of Destiny, which is not like anything new. I've been playing Psychonauts though. Psychonauts 2, which is it's pretty good. If you like I think it's better than Mario Odyssey, personally. I also I don't really care for 3D Mario games. I just don't think they're the best.
Whoa!
But
what's funny about this right now? Like Corey's saying this, right? And like on Crossroads last night, he was smashing all of Austin's hopes and dreams, because like every game that Austin loved, Corey couldn't stand. But everything that Corey says about games, like I actually love it, because I have the same opinion. And 3D Mario games haven't really slapped for me in a while.
No, I think the last 3D Mario game I actually completed, honestly, it was Mario 64. I mean, I guess Mario 3D World, technically, but I don't really count that as like a full 3D Mario game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of a weird one, because it's like isometric.
Yeah, I love Mario 3D World, though. I think it merges the two perfectly. I think I like the bite-sized levels, but I also like you have the freedom to roam around a little bit.
That is probably one of the funner co-op games to play, because it's so.
I don't know. You could lose friends over that.
You can actually.
With Pat and Celeste, and Pat really screwed me a couple times. I'll remember, Pat, when you listen to this.
I'm gonna remind him every chance he gets.
It's like one of those episodic games. Stephanie will remember this.
Yep.
Actually, there's a
Pat
good
Stephanie off a cliff. Stephanie will remember this.
Yes. Corey, you should have like a segment where you just like talk about a hot take on a video game that's very popular and well loved that you don't like.
I mean, I could do that right now. We talked a lot about BioShock and The Last of Us last night. I feel like I've.
Well, I think he already mentioned that Psychonauts 2 is better than Mario Odyssey, so that's.
Hey, I can't argue that, because I've never played Psychonauts yet. And 2, believe it or not, I have not beat Odyssey. I tried so hard to love it, and I don't hate it.
There's
nothing special about it. I feel like
I watched my boyfriend playing Odyssey, and I swear, like, it's the most convoluted like Mario game to date, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming from somebody that just did not have a wonderful time with Galaxy. I did not.
Yeah, I didn't finish Galaxy either. I
couldn't do Galaxy.
It's just I don't know. I just don't think there's anything special about what were we talking? Odyssey. God, Galaxy, Odyssey, whatever. I don't know.
Odyssey.
like throwing the hat is like a neat mechanic, but like there's clearly kind of quote unquote set pieces where you use it. And like, yeah, I get it. If you want to get all the moons or whatever, you have to throw the cap and do the dive stuff and whatever. It's cool, but like I feel like there are other Mario games that do that stuff better, you know.
Yeah.
And it just Odyssey didn't really do it for me. But Psychonauts is like, I love the powers in Psychonauts. I love the telekinesis where you can just kind of like pick stuff up and move it around, and the clear distinction between this is a platforming section and this is a combat section is actually a really refreshing take on a 3D platformer. There's not a lot that gets in your way when you're platforming unless it's like a very deliberate section where you're like, where they really just kind of map it out for you and say, hey, there's enemies in this platforming section. You don't have to fight them, but you do have to dodge them. And it's really nice to it's just really charming. And the way they deal with mental health in that game is really surprisingly accurate in a fun and kind of simple way. It kind of just explains it in a really simple way that, like, I don't know, it makes everything so clear that, you know, maybe somebody is confused about something, and, you know, why is mental health a big deal? They kind of do that in a cool way where, like, you go, I don't really want to spoil anything, but one of the first levels is like a casino level, and one of the teachers seems to have a gambling problem, right? So you go into her brain, like the whole premise of Psychonauts is you go into people's brains and kind of see what kind of world their brain produces, right? So the teacher equates risk with reward, and so that gives her a gambling problem. And like, you use some of your moves to kind of detach risk from reward and attach reward to something positive or something that will change the course of her life because she has a gambling addiction. And it's really a neat way to process that information. I really like it. It's a little, some of the parts are a little bit too long. Like, some of the stuff drags a little bit, but it's only like a 12-hour game, and if you want to do everything, it's about 16 to 20, I think. So it's a nice surprise. I'll say that, because I liked the first Psychonauts enough, but not enough to be like, oh, this is the greatest game ever. I like Double Fine is one of those studios where, like, I appreciate what they try to do a lot. I don't really enjoy playing their games. But Psychonauts was like the one game that I was like, okay, this is cool, this is fun, this is doing something interesting. And then Psychonauts 2 is like, they have Microsoft money now, so they can make the game that they want, pretty much. So it was really fun to see, and I'll probably end up finishing it this week. So
you got me intrigued in this now. I mean, it's just sitting on my Game Pass library. Like, I could download it any day I want. But
yeah, same here. Yeah, like he spoke about it last night on Crossroads, and like hearing him speak more and more about it right now is like, I'm going to take the plunge. Mm-hmm. I didn't really enjoy the first Psychonauts. Maybe it was just because I wasn't in the right headspace for it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give this one a shot.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the game where you're like, you know, sometimes there's that game where maybe you don't know what you want to play and you just pop in a game and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the game I'm committing to like for 40 hours because it's so amazing. I wouldn't say it's one of those games, but like, if you're in the mood for something simple and you enjoy platformers and you enjoy quirky characters and like a positive spin on a lot of things, and, you know, I think the things that they do with mental health is actually really interesting too. So I would give it a shot. It's on Game Pass. It's on PS4 also. So if you have a PS5 or PS4, you can play it there too. So, yeah. Stephanie, we're going to go your way. What are you doing with your life?
Ooh.
That is a
deep question.
That's a lot. There's so much, guys. She's just trying to compartmentalize it.
Exactly. I'll save some for after dark if I ever make it to one of those. No, I'm just kidding.
You will be on. You will be on after dark.
You know, I haven't been watching a lot of TV because I kind of have to make sacrifices with my little bit of entertainment I have for myself with work and child rearing and stuff like that. So I've been just watching sports. Football season started, so I'm really enjoying that. As far as games, I'm still slowly rolling through Skyward Sword HD. Because I've beat it on the Wii, I just don't really feel the urge to rush through it at all. I'm just kind of going through the motions and experiencing it. And my son is obsessed with Zelda. It's kind of my fault. I created this monster because he just wants to be Link for Halloween last year, this year,
How
for
dare
every
you?
year. Well, but now, so he'll take the left I almost said Wiimote. Oh, left Joy-Con. I have the right Joy-Con. He'll control where Link walks, and I, how much is Jack Black in Psychonauts? Sorry, I just interrupted.
I mean,
popped in the chat.
He's in it quite a bit. Sorry, I didn't answer it right away because we were in another section of the show. But he's in it. He's like one of the main characters. He's not like Raz. Like you're not playing as Jack Black, but he's in it quite a bit. So he's funny. He's Jack Black. He's funny. He's there to be funny. So kind of suck if he wasn't.
I forgot about that. I think that's just another point and reason for me to play it.
Yeah.
So thanks, Austin.
Well, him and Tim Schafer are like good friends.
They're pals.
So,
They're
yeah.
pals.
Yeah.
So
All right, but so my son and I play Skyward Sword together. I'm trying to get through Firewatch because there might be a talk the walk on that, and I want to be able to talk about it. On my PS4, I'm just enjoying the vast world known as Ghost of Tsushima. So I'm working through that, and I'm starting my 5th novel. So a lot of my whatever time is left is going to that until I get my Xbox Series X. Because once that happens, I'm already created a list of all the games that are on Game Pass that I need to download and play. So now that
the nerd made a list.
Yes, I did. It's like quadrupled now that I know I'm getting a Series X.
Oh boy, guys, I can't wait to play all these games. Psychonauts 2, Halo 5.
Hey, you know what? At least
That was
it's
my
not
best
a list
impression
of
of you. I'm sorry.
Nintendo only titles. Okay, I'm expanding and diversifying. Story. Don't make me break out into some Journey.
That's right. You that's right. You stick it to him.
Fine. I'm gonna put you on mute just in case. I'm ready. I'm ready.
But just I hate to be pretty boring, but that's kind of it. I am excited about the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. I have plans that evening that I kind of want to cancel so I can watch the Direct because I'm a horrible person.
cancel him.
But
do it.
so that's it.
Nice. Yeah, Skyward Sword is like it's a weird one for me. I'm trying. I'm enjoying it. Like I'm not playing with the Joy-Cons. I'm just playing. I'm granted I haven't played it in like a couple weeks, but I'm playing with the buttons and it's cool. It's cool, but like I wish the button layout was a little bit different. Just like a little bit, But anyways.
Yes, Austin, I am a Patriots fan.
Yeah, but you're from there. It's fine. If she's from there, it's fine, Austin. Okay? It's the people that live in the
Bring
middle.
it.
Yeah. I bet it really hurts that Tom Brady won a Super Bowl last year, though, doesn't it?
Well, not for me, no, because I don't know. I'm also I am a fan of Brady. Maybe not as obsessed as some people take it. Like I know a lot of people that have unhealthy obsessions.
Yeah.
I'm more of like, hey, good for you. Like I don't control what how the Patriots how they handle and how, their team and stuff like that. Like that's just all political to them, money, whatever. So they make those decisions. It's not me. So I'm happy for him. It just shows that he's not too old to keep doing what he's doing. He can bring a horrible team and lift them up. Like that's, like I said, it doesn't bother me. So
He came in with a lot of demands, and I remember like people shit talking him in the beginning of the season because he was pretty hard on his teammates, like making them do these things, and he's just like screaming at him on the sidelines. But ultimately, they became one of the most disciplined and successful teams that season. Obviously, the most successful team of the season. because of that kind of discipline.
Yeah. He probably also force fed them avocado ice cream, like he just knows what to do.
That just sounds gross.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Avocado ice cream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it, white people, stop. You need to stop with this shit. This is annoying. God.
Yeah, there's a famous Boston radio station where they used to kind of like poke fun at Tom Brady and his diet regimen because they'd follow Brady very closely, and they would talk about how he's all into avocado ice cream and all that jazz. I'm like, I don't know. There's certain lines that I'm not sure I can cross.
Yeah, I mean,
he's clearly doing something right. He's like 43 and still the best player in the NFL. So, I mean, let's be honest here. I don't care for Tom Brady, but you can't deny that he's
one of the greatest quarterbacks who have ever lived.
Yeah.
He makes those sacrifices to achieve those results. I'm fine with kind of eating my ice cream, my regular ice cream, and just not having superpowers.
I just want to point out that Baker Mayfield has the highest completion percentage of any quarterback in the NFL right now. Just going to throw that out there. Go Browns.
Anyway.
Oh, man. Anyways, who's next? Who's Stoy? Are you next? You're next. We're gonna go to you.
Sure. Okay. I just play games. I don't get invested in TV shows because I get bored a lot. When I watch shows, like I it's almost like sometimes I just don't like that drama. So I'm not really watching anything right now. Most of my time is spent coaching. I coach soccer. I coach high school varsity, and that has this whole bag of issues, but it's mostly fun. But right now I'm playing Tales of Arise on my Series X. Probably the Tales game I loved the most since Vesperia. That came out like almost like 10, 15 years ago now. But yeah, so I'm really into that. Like that one's really kind of taken up a lot of my time. I ended up picking up I'm kind of missing a simulation game, so I ended up picking up this motorcycle racing game just recently. So I spent a little bit of time on that. But you guys remember Cruis'n USA?
Yeah.
They just came out with Cruis'n Blast on the Switch.
Oh, really?
And bro, and Broette. Yeah.
I respond to bro. It's cool.
Okay. I mean, I get it. So yeah, it's pretty much like hugely reminiscent of the old Cruis'n USA games, like crazy over the top, like, single track action. Corey asked me if you could race as a school bus. Yes, you can race with a school bus. You could run over like animals like usual. The only thing that it's missing is the weird stop motion animation bikini girl giving you a trophy at the end of your race. That was a little awkward, like as a 12-year-old kid, like hoping your mom's not around, like shit. You just got to tell your mom, I'm good at racing games, Mom. But yeah, so it's got probably one of the most lamest theme songs out there.
This particular game?
Yeah, because it goes like cruising, come on, we're cruising.
Oh God.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
I'm grinding my teeth.
Yeah. Sorry. Good thing you're not sitting next to me when I'm singing this.
Poor Tifa.
Yeah, I know. No kidding. She's just like, yeah, done. Anyway, so that's what I've been spending most of my time doing, honestly. Coaching is fun, and I think that'll be my topic later on in the episode when we kind of like go through a random topic, because high school kids are something else, man. They're something else.
I have a question for you. What is your favorite thing right now in Tales of Arise? The reason why I'm asking you this is because it's also on my what have I been playing this week. Yeah, I've actually played some games that were not Monster Hunter this past week.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Ooh,
wow.
Right.
I know. It's like yeah, I was about to say it's like I'm growing up.
No, I honestly, Shion, the main female character, is, man, she makes me so mad. because she's such a bitch. Like she's a bitch to everybody she meets. She's angry all the time, and she uses people for her own selfish benefit. But damn, she's probably got a very tragic backstory that I'm just waiting for that to drop.
Yeah,
for her to be like, I was abused as a child. My parents locked me in a cave for hours and days and weeks on end and never fed me and everything. All I feel is pain and misery and suffering. And then it's like, damn, that is tragic. No wonder.
Yeah, I'm not far enough in the game yet either, but I also am in agreement. Like, she is a bitch.
Yeah, so that's where it's like, I mean, something has to be driving her. And I think I've always been vested in characters. Sometimes story isn't enough to hook me. Like a game could have the greatest story, but and that's why I latched on The Last of Us 2, because the storyline in that game sucked. The storyline of whatever, just murdering each other, whatever. It's kind of a shitty story. But the dynamic between Ellie and Laura? No, not Laura. I keep calling her that.
Yeah, but, that's the actress that played her.
That's the actress that plays her. But Abby.
Yes.
Those two characters are probably some of the strongest video game characters like in video games in recent to date. Mm-hmm. So Shion's character just intrigues me so much, and I think that's what's kind of like hooking me in, because I'm like,
you're waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah, and I'm waiting. I'm like finding out more and more about her, and there's those moments because there's a lot of character dialogue in this game, and you get these like character dialogues.
There's a lot of dialogue.
Tales games are like that, man. I can't imagine how many hours of dialogue are in these games, but you really get to know the characters, and sometimes she lowers her guard, where she kind of gets shocked when people want to help her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, why would you want to help me? Why would you want to do this for me? And that's where I think her story is kind of tragic, because she was probably like alone her whole life, had to fend for herself and all this stuff. And I mean, not to mention anybody that touches her, she like basically incapacitates, kills them.
She zaps the shit out of them.
Yeah. So that's got to have its old ball of, trauma.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because I was wondering, like I said, I'm also playing that game, so I was wondering what your take on. But you like the Tales of games, whereas I'm a person that I'm very leery of JRPGs in this day and age. Well, I mean, actually, RPGs in general, like, just don't do it for me anymore. It's been a long time since they. I want to say the last time I really invested in an RPG was back in the PS2 days. Mm. Yeah, so it took a lot for me to get into Mass Effect. Even though Mass Effect is a game that, if you look at me, it's like right up my alley. But it took a lot of convincing for me to say I'm going to give this game a try and stuff like that. It also took a lot of convincing for me to get into The Witcher 3. It took a lot.
Yeah, The Witcher 3 was kind of a slow slog. I know it was. The first few hours kind of, You're just like hunting this animal for like 4 hours, and it's like, man, is this what this game is going to be about?
Yeah.
And that's when the story really picks up, obviously, a little bit afterwards. But yeah, and that's the problem with Mass Effect, the series, because the first Mass Effect was kind of the weaker.
It was a slow burn. It was
a very slow burn, but it's worth it in the end, because you get so much lore out of it, mm-hmm. that it makes playing through 2 and 3 that much more satisfying, because you feel more vested in the world.
Yeah.
Story, that was your one Mass Effect mention for this podcast.
I was just gonna say that was my one mention, so that's it. We're done.
Oh,
Thanks for reminding me.
I kind of opened the door on that one. I was the one that brought it up.
I know, and I fell for it.
Wow.
But otherwise, that's what I've been doing.
Neat. LeRon.
All right. As far as what I've been watching, I've been watching the first, well, not the first season, the current season of this show from HBO called In Treatment. It was an older show that kind of got like I'm gonna say a soft reboot, because it originally came out, and I think Gabriel Byrne was the lead character. He was a psychiatrist, and basically
they rebooted this.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
dude, I loved that show when it first was out years ago.
Yeah, it's got Uzo Aduba from Orange Is the New Black. She's the psychiatrist now in the show, and basically the show follows like if you've seen a lot of shows that deal with like psychiatrists and stuff like I think it was up till recently like people just found out that like psychiatrists and psychologists and stuff like they need their own like psychologists to deflate all this stuff that they take in from their clients and stuff because like, some of it's heavy. So basically I'm almost done with this current season, and it's really good because basically it follows Uzo's character, who is her name's Brooke. She's the psychiatrist, and during her week she's got 3 clients, and like the talent on the clients is just amazing, but man, some of the stuff that they put out is heavy as hell, and then you start to understand why most psychiatrists need to also talk to a psychiatrist at the end of their seasons and whatnot, because it's a lot. And man, like I didn't think I was going to get hooked on a show like that, which is funny because like I did want to go to school I was thinking about going to school for psychology, so I don't know why this show wouldn't have gravitated to me, but it actually hooked me when I saw the very first episode. It's got some talent behind it and some good writing, and beyond that, like Star Trek's back on, but it's Star Trek the animated version, so like Lower Decks is on, and basically if you like Rick and Morty, you'll like this Star Trek. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
And it's one of those ones like I will say this, like Lower Decks leans heavily into all the Star Trek tropes and stuff like that. So if you're like one of the new age Trekkies, like you're probably not going to get all the jokes and everything. You had to have been watching it, since at least the Jean-Luc Picard and Next Generation and all that stuff started, and then I am playing catch up on What If. On Marvel's What If. I am 1 episode behind.
Do you like What If? Are you enjoying it?
You know what? Here's my honest take on What If. I feel like the episodes are too rushed, and I feel like if the episodes were like 40 minutes to an hour, they'd be a little more satisfying, because I'll be honest with you, like the way most of these episodes are ending is not really doing it for me. Like for example, like the episode with the zombies, for example, I didn't like the way it ended. It ended like it was going to conclude the storyline, but it didn't conclude the storyline. In my opinion, it ended with you thinking like, oh, it's going to end. We just don't know what's going to happen.
It all feels like lazy writing to me. I mean, I'm not watching, but I'm hearing what people have to say about it, and it's like, oh, wouldn't that be funny if we just kind of threw this idea? Yeah, but how do we flesh it out? Nah, who cares?
Yeah, because here's what
just make Black Panther Star-Lord.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just go with it.
Because here's what I know from the comics. Because I'm a Marvel Comics fan, but I don't really read What If, because What If they're always stories that aren't really continuity. Like there's always a chance that if the storylines contained within might wind up becoming continuity, but they'll just throw it in a different universe, in the Marvel realm and stuff like that. But the main thing I'm only watching it because it's new Marvel right now, and I'm waiting for Star Wars to come back on. That's really what's going on right now. What If right now is the placeholder until Star Wars comes back on, because when Star Wars comes back on, then we get the next Marvel show, whatever that's going to be. But yeah, like I like the idea of What If, but honestly, I feel like it's lazy writing, like you said, Stoy. It's lazy writing, in my opinion. And I do not like accusing writers of being lazy. I don't, because as a writer myself, I'd never want to be put in that category as well. But I mean, like everybody watches shows basically for the literary or the theatrical money shot, basically.
They want content.
They want the content, and they want to be satisfied. And the only thing this is satisfying for me is I'm just getting more Marvel. That's about all.
Laron, as a member of the writing community, I take deep offense to that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad you mentioned it though, because see, I actually did try to catch up with What If, and I completely forgot to mention it during my portion, just because unfortunately it was kind of forgettable. And that's not what I want to say about it. I wanted to love What If so badly. I'm a huge Marvel person. I did kind of, for some reason, stop once the TV shows started. I don't know why. I don't know. I kind of fell behind like WandaVision and Loki.
Everybody's got they've got Marvel fatigue right now. I will say that because two of my roommates, they're big fans of the MCU, but they just cannot bring themselves to watch like the shows right now. And I had to beg one of my roommates to watch Loki because Loki is setting up like the next 4 movies for the Marvel for the MCU.
I mean, so is WandaVision pretty much too.
WandaVision is too, but not in the same
way that Loki is, obviously.
Yeah, what happened in Loki, like, basically is translating to like quite a few of the movies that are happening.
Yeah,
that are getting ready to happen.
I wasn't even gonna watch Loki because I'm like, it looks fine, but then like, I don't know, I still really think that WandaVision is like the best TV effort so far for me.
I think so too, and that's hard for me to say because Falcon and the Winter Soldier had me so emotional.
I know. I've really loved Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I wish it was longer.
Too, yeah.
I wish it was longer. But I just mean like in the terms of like, because I already liked Bucky and Sam, right? Like I already liked those characters. I knew I was going to like Falcon and the Winter Soldier because I like the Captain America. I think are the movies that I like the most just because they feel the most grounded. I mean, we're talking about, a guy that flies with wings and a guy that throws a shield around. But in terms of what Marvel has been doing, they feel the most grounded. But like WandaVision really turned my perspective on these characters where like I didn't really care about them at all. And by the end of WandaVision, they were like some of my favorite characters just in terms of like the development and what Wanda went through that whole show. And like, it just did a lot for those characters for me personally. And it's like, wow,
And the way they structured that show, remember how like they each started with like a decade theme of like, so I just think the way that it was very unique. And the thing about What If is, like I said, I forced myself to try and love it because I personally like the art style. I know not everyone likes it. I like the concept, but as I watched a couple, like most of them, I'm like, oh, like I did like the Doctor Strange one, and with the
Doctor Strange one was wonderful.
That was probably the best one personally I've seen so far. With the zombie one, it had a lot of potential, but like you said, it
fell flat.
To me, it's like I liked Captain Carter. Like I really liked that one.
That was a good one. It was a good start too. It was a good start.
Yeah, it was a good start, but I was like, I wish this wasn't animated, and I wish this was a movie. Like I would have rather sat and watched like an hour and a half, 2 hour movie of this instead of like, it feels like these stories are crammed into a half hour show and they need to be longer.
I think ultimately the best takeaway from the Marvel What If series is the fact that they got a lot of these actors to reprise their roles, and
you can tell, for better or for worse, that these actors are reprising their roles because like you can tell some of them have never done voiceover work before, which also got on my nerves.
Yeah, I mean, and like it just hearing Chadwick Boseman like 1-2 more times as T'Challa, like it's like, man, like we're gonna have to let this character go soon. We are, that's the sad part, things like that. But that's my ultimate takeaway from like What If. I mean, it's there, it's filling a void, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do for me. I'll just briefly go over the games because I spent a lot of time talking about TV shows. I'm currently playing Tales of Arise right now. I am just outside the first. Well, actually, according to my roommate, I don't even think I've cleared the first act because it said it took him like 6 hours to get clear of the first act and stuff like that. So I'm basically still in the opening of Tales of Arise. I'm enjoying it. Like it's been a while since I actually picked up a JRPG.
You didn't beat Ballsack yet, did you?
I did not. I did not.
I can't.
There's a lot of Ballsack talk on this show.
Why? Ballsack. You're just.
No, his name is like a Ballstar or something like that. But like every time someone says it, my 12-year-old brain immediately goes to Ballsack for some reason.
I knew who you were talking about.
I need help. Yeah, I was gonna say you were like, no, I haven't beaten him yet. No, so which tells me
you just brought back a horrible memory. Why'd you have to just say that word?
Oh gosh, what is this story?
What has this led to? What is this?
Save it for after dark.
Oh, God.
Man,
and the other game I've been playing, like it launched yesterday on PlayStation and on PC. I'm playing Kenna Bridge of Spirits, and my God, like I knew I wanted to play this game like last year when they unveiled it at the last PlayStation showcase, but I did not realize that like I was gonna sit down, I was gonna press start, and I was immediately gonna fall in love with this game. Like I fell in love with this game in like the first 3 minutes. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and I can't wait to beat it so I can talk about it. Hell, I might even write the review for it for Boss Rush.
Boy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
All I'm gonna say is if you have a PlayStation, a PS4, a PS5, or a PC, like the game is $40. Get it, get it. In my opinion right now, it's an indie title that feels like it's a AAA.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a double A title.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. A double A, yeah.
That's what they call it.
Yep. So yeah, that there we go. Like that's all I'll say about that because I know I took up a lot of time with the TV shows.
I mean, it's fine.
It was good discussion.
That's why we're here, Laron, to have a discussion.
Intelligent discourse about ball sack.
Well, I mean,
Is that the name of the episode?
I mean, I'm not trying to be
That's gonna
like,
be the tag. That's gonna be the tagline for the episode. Boss Rush Entertainment, a great place for Discord about ball sacks.
I'm just trying not to be like like we've had guests and spots on these shows where like we get to the what are we playing and they unroll the scrolls of Pythia.
That's Pat. That's Pat on our show.
Gosh, could you imagine
every game known to man?
Could you imagine if Ed and Pat had a segment of what they've been playing?
The rest of the panelists would just like turn off their cameras and walk away.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I think so. That's what would happen. Literally, I'd just be like,
Grab
I'm
a
just
couple
gonna-
drinks, make
I'm gonna
popcorn.
go probably knock out a couple hours of Tales and whatever.
Wow.
All right.
My brain hurts just thinking about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just like
That's why Ed's not invited on the podcast anymore because like they finished talking about their segments and I'm like, I played Forza. It's a racing game. It's pretty good. Can't.
All right, Corey. So how about you? What's been interesting and exciting?
I went first, man.
You did?
Ted
been so-
Lasso.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's been so long ago that I forgot.
I see.
My bad.
I see how you
That's
feel
the
about
ball
me.
squeezing picture thing came about. Remember?
Yeah.
Full circle.
That's why we
Yes.
made you look up.
Yes. Okay. My bad. I completely lost track and and I was actually paying attention. It's just that we just got so far along that I forgot. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Now I'm gonna get a stern talking to after the show's over.
it's fine. It's fine. I'm forgettable. It's fine. Especially in the state I am today. Let me tell you what though. Work. I'm retiring today. Work is kicking my ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just like, oh my God, because like people have quit and they don't. It's
right.
been a long
Wait,
3
people-
weeks.
Wait, this is from the number one job, right? The job
Yeah.
that you had since I first met you.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
has
I worked-
I'm just sending positive vibes your way. Can't go into too much detail, but what my company is going through, we've lost 3 people in a month
Mhm.
that were very vital to operations. So,
Yeah.
I get it.
Last week between job number 1 and job number 2, I worked almost 80 hours last week.
Dear Lord, how are you still standing or sitting or whatever?
Right.
I don't know. That's a good question. And I've worked over 40 this week already. So, neat.
In addition to parenting, I'm sure it's just
Oh, yeah. They're just
Running on
perfect
fumes.
angels all the time. They let me just relax. It's awesome. Love them dearly. Children, everybody. They say they change your life.
and they do.
That
They do.
they
They
do.
remind you every day.
That's actually where I ran off to earlier, is because my daughter was like, she's up still. It's 10 o'clock. Didn't nap today.
She's committed.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy? I found out that sometimes the kids miss their nap. It forces them to go to bed later. Like I thought, like if I miss a nap, I'm going to bed early.
Yeah, with kids, they get this overtired thing, and they get super wired at bedtime. I've been victim to that many a times.
Yeah,
So-
it's like 2 or 3 times a week for me, especially because my daughter just started preschool, and like all she wants to do is talk about her friends and what they did at school, and it's like, go to
Did
bed.
you tell her they're not her real friends?
No, but it's funny.
What's happening?
So
You need to sit down and have this conversation with them.
So-
You're not going to be friends with these people. This is why I don't have kids.
okay,
You're not going to
so
be friends with these people after preschool.
Wait, I thought you had kids, Toy.
No, I don't. 0.
No, you're very capable of having kids. That's shit my mom said to me.
he has a kid. It's right there with its red glowing eyes. It's piercing into my soul. So my wife and I, like, she's tired from like staying up all night with my son because he wakes up every 45 minutes to hour and a half. Just wakes up, is ready to go. So she wakes up, and since she deals with him because she knows that it would benefit me sleeping more because she works from home to sleep so I can go to work, and I'm exhausted from work. And like, yeah, it's been a, man, this adding the second kid was just like, it was like putting life on hard mode. I was like, man, this is I don't know.
Sounds more like nightmare mode, honestly.
Oh my God.
I mean, I hate to say it that way, but
like,
I was about to tell you a really bad joke. So like, you want your son to sleep at night? Here's what you do, but I don't want us to get canceled.
oh boy. I
We can
mean,
use our imagination.
to be fair,
Bop.
No, not even that.
to be fair, Austin said he didn't care that a little girl died yesterday, so it's fine.
Whoa.
Damn,
Hold on. In
Damn,
context,
Austin.
In The Last of
context,
Us.
we're talking about The Last of Us.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that makes a difference.
I gotta put context on it.
Nah, it's fine.
I don't want people in Crossroads.
I'm just
DMs
saying,
tonight.
Austin and I had a really good time last night, and it's partially why I'm a little bit tired tonight. It's fine.
Corey, when I tell you, I was editing the show. I was editing the show today, man. I can throw at least 15 minutes worth of outtakes of both you and him.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Oh my God, the part about the sex mini games in God of War, that is gold.
I'm just saying that right stick was good to me and Austin in the right times of our lives, I guess. That's
Tell you, like the circle move with the left.
And that's how I met
Hey.
my wife.
hey, the flames went out in the candles, okay? That's all I have to say. What were we talking about? Oh, I was talking about my daughter going to preschool, and somehow we ended up sex games and God of War. Jesus.
You
So
sure you want me doing After Dark?
yeah,
No, I thought we already said Stephanie's hosting After Dark.
Or rotate.
She's hiding out in a lot of stories, apparently.
Yeah, don't
All
be
right.
fooled by this innocent facade.
Oh, nobody,
Nope.
nobody is.
Nobody is.
All right,
it's the innocent
Corey.
ones you have to be the most scared of. That's what I hear.
All right, so your daughter has friends.
Yeah,
Yes.
so my
No, she doesn't.
my wife and I just laughed because this one there's 2 kids in her class that have the same first name, so they call them by their first and last name. And like, God, am I gonna get in trouble for saying some kid's name on this show? Because it's really funny.
Just give him a fake name.
I mean, if you say like,
I can't give them
Sarah B has lupus. Or
You know what?
something like that. That would be
No,
violation.
you know
of
what?
HIPAA.
If I get this kid's parents don't listen, it's fine. She says this kid's name in like one syllable, and she's like, "I play with Lucas Bravo. His name is Lucas Bravo," and it's like,
No, it ain't.
it is.
Stupid name.
But she says it. She says all of her friends' name is like one
Bravo?
syllable. Like
Outta here.
it's.
Is he a cartoon character?
I mean, he's Johnny Bravo's cousin.
Okay, you know what? The more I hear Snoid. Okay. Has anybody here seen that movie Due Date with Robert Downey Jr.? and Zach
Yes!
Galifianakis.
Yes.
You remember when that kid was fucking with Robert Downey Jr. and he punched him in the stomach, and then he immediately like covered his mouth and just sat him down on the couch. That story. And the sad part is, like, Robert Downey Jr. He even warned the kid. He's like, "You got one more time, I'll put hands on you." That was the line. He's like, "You got one more time, I'll put hands on you."
Accurate.
It's fair. Gave him a warning.
I watched the Always Sunny in Philadelphia clip, where Mac and Charlie go beat up a bunch of kids in this neighborhood. And we're talking like holding them by their necks and slamming them down to the ground. And there's a clip on YouTube where they're playing the Doom music at the same time.
No,
I watched that clip pretty religiously.
Wow.
And you're a high school soccer coach.
Yes, I am.
I
teach kids.
You're probably the coach that's encouraging the goalie to drop kick strikers when they approach.
No, actually, one of my kids last night at the soccer game, he got a yellow card because he cleaned this kid out. And honestly, the kid deserved it. He really deserved it. So like he had to get subbed off the field. Once you get a yellow card in high school, you got to get taken off the field. So I gave the kid a high five. I was like, he had it coming. And the kid laughed at me. He's like, "Can I go back in?" And I was like, "Yeah, go back in."
Wow.
Sometimes they deserve it. I mean, it's just one of those things. I'm sorry. Like if you're gonna act like a bitch, you're gonna get hit like a bitch. Like it's just one of those things.
I'm so glad Stoy is here tonight.
I gotta come to one of Stoy's soccer games. I have to.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's entertaining to say the least.
Wow.
I'm fine. I'm mostly fine. I'm not like when I.
You're not a psychopath.
No, I'm not. I'm not because listen. There's a lot of things you can't control in this world, and I'll be vocal about something, and then I'll kind of maybe laugh it off, like whatever. So when I used to coach girls, actually, and this is an interesting dynamic because people always ask me like, "Oh, who do you like coaching, boys or girls more?" And I say girls more because girls get angry as fuck. Girls are mean to each other. Like if I'm coaching in a game and I sub a girl out, and she's like, "Coach, I want to slap that. I want to hit that girl so hard." And I was like, "All right, go in there and do it." And they do it. They do it, and they feel immediately better afterwards. And it's like squashing the beef, basically. That's it. Boys get all whiny. "Coach, that guy's making me upset."
You know what? That is so true. Because me and a buddy we used to coach coach Pee Wee League football, and oh my god, like little boys, like
yeah, "Coach, he's making me upset." It's like, so what? Like, girls are just like, "Coach, I'm gonna hit that girl." Like all right,
you want to see a difference between boys and girls sports? Like, look at basketball. Like,
oh yeah.
Look at basketball, like young kids, like boys basketball teams, completely different dynamic from girls basketball teams.
I'm gonna tell you, women's and men's soccer, complete different. A guy gets hit, he's flopping on the ground like he's a dead fish, acting like the world's ending. You see the girl get knocked down, the girl gets knocked down. She gets up with this rage in her eyes.
She runs
down that girl that hit her, and she slam tackles her, throws her up in the air, slams her down to the ground. Referee's like, "All right, chill." Blows the whistle, chill.
Oh, Stoy, I'm going to send you a meme.
Okay, cool. But that's literally the difference. That's why sometimes I like watching women's soccer because, there's no flopping, there's no whining. Girls get up and play. That's what they're there for. And yeah, they
That's what we do.
That's what they do. It's what they do. And I encourage it fully, 100%.
That's the major difference between men and women. That's also why when men get sick, they automatically have the man flu. They can have like the 24-hour sniffles, and it's the man flu.
Listen, that's because their testosterone levels are so low that they're unable to function. Okay, that's the physiological reason why men get sicker. Men need high levels of testosterone to function. Just saying.
Wait, so we got this all from. Okay, so what happened to this Bravo kid?
Yeah.
This kid. I don't want to talk about this kid.
My kid was just like, she was all excited because they were sharing horses and farm animals and stuff. And like it's just funny because like the kid's name is funny. That's all.
Oh, this is so wholesome. And we just got through talking about kids beating the fuck out of each other.
I know.
Yeah, no kidding. You can't end the story like that.
My kid does need to work on not hitting people though, because she punched me in the eye twice tonight. It was fun. She just looked at me and laughed like this evil laugh, and she was like, she just punched me in the face. It's funny. It's fine. Anyways,
Stephanie, that meme is quite accurate.
Yep.
Yes,
I
it
need
is.
to
Quite
see this
accurate
meme.
because you know what? One of the kids, I was watching a JV game. One of the kids took a light ball to the head. So boom, took a little hit. No big deal. Kept playing. Then all of a sudden, a minute later, coach, I need to get subbed out. Coach pulls him out. He's like, "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" He's like, "No, I got hit in the head." I'm like, "So?" "Well, I just wanted to take a rest." "Do you have a headache?" "No." "Do you feel dizzy?" "No." "Do you have any kind of symptoms?" "No. I just got hit in the head." Like, what?
Oh, boo.
This is why I need to go to one of Stoy's games that he coaches, because like I would just live. I would know that there's some shenanigans going on if like that forehead vein that like everybody gets when they're super pissed off.
Yeah.
What?
Wow. Well, we've been going for an hour and a half now. I don't think we're going to get through everyone's topic tonight. I'm just going to throw that out there. Do we want to do a topic, or do we want to...
I kind of loosely talked about my topic.
It's what?
Which one?
It was the whole soccer thing, the difference between boys and girls.
Mm.
Because right now I'm coaching boys, high school, and they just came up to me today like, "Coach, we really want to go to homecoming because we have a game that Friday night."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, I could give a fuck about homecoming when I was a kid, but it's different nowadays, especially now with kind of the way things are. And one of our kids just got pulled for COVID protocols and stuff, so that pissed everybody off. So we all took a picture. Everybody took a picture arm to arm, standing in solidarity with this kid. It was actually kind of funny, but it was almost like heartwarming at the same time. Because like they really wanted to stand with solidarity with this kid while he's being quarantined. Yeah. So, I got to post a picture actually to our group, but yeah, like, I mean, that's the life I'm living right now, where it's literally like hours a day, like 5 days a week. Basically, I'm invested in this, and it's like a lot of times I want to be that mean asshole coach, but I'm kind of just having more fun with it now, where I'm like, if the kids are having fun, I guess I'm more having fun, and you just got to kind of let things go after a while. And I just want the kids to have fun right now.
Hey, Stoy, I gotta ask you a question. As a coach, do you have that moment? And you know the moment I'm talking about. That moment where you literally get up on the wrong side of the bed, and it is your job to just like make everybody's life miserable for the rest of the day. Once they hit practice.
Yeah, no kid. Yeah, pretty much. God, that happened last week. I was sick of their shit from the start. Like, I don't think even practice started, and I was already sick of their crap. And I'm just like, man, every 5 minutes, my throat actually got swollen from yelling so much, because I was like, they weren't getting it. And I don't think I was being patient enough with them. But man, yeah, it was my job to make their life a living hell that day.
Oh man.
Yeah. That doesn't happen that often. I'm gonna admit that doesn't happen that often, because, I understand high school kids have a lot of interests, and their brains a lot of times are somewhere else.
It's fair.
Far away.
Definitely
Very
not
far
on what they're
away.
doing at that moment.
Yep. Like, I'll explain the rules of the game, and guarantee you there's at least one stupid question to say, "Coach, what was that again?" I'm like, "I just told you 2 seconds ago."
My name is Coach Stoy, and I am sick of your shit, Adam.
Yes. Now go play. I don't know what I'm doing. No, actually, this happened last night, where I was like, I told this kid, okay, well, you're gonna sub in, you're gonna take this kid out, but you're gonna take this other kid's position or something like that, whatever. And like, he subbed someone else out, I look to the bench and I see this kid standing there. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? He's like, I don't know. He told me to come out. I was like, no, he didn't. He was like, no, yeah, that's what he told me. I was like, the son of a bitch. Kids are stupid. That's all. That's all I want to say. That's all I want. That's how I'm going to end my rant. Man. Kids are stupid, man.
Topic: kids are dumb.
Kids are stupid.
Those hormones.
Austin obviously left the chat.
You know what? You know what makes me sad about it though? Just to end, I was stupid as hell as a kid too. Like every time I get mad, I think about the stupid shit I did when I was their age, and I was like, man, I was no better.
Oh God,
I'm done.
Stephanie, you're the other guest here. What topic do you have?
Oh, mine just pales
in
comparison.
Are you burnt out? I'm sorry.
No, my topic's not nearly as interesting. I feel kind of like boring now. I was thinking about, hey, let's talk about video game preservation. Now I feel like that's not going to be.
Sure, nerd. Go.
Oh, come on. I was like, well, we will probably talk about video games because that's a lot of what we do. But, if Laurent or you, Corey, have a more interesting topic, I'm happy to defer mine to another time.
When we talk about video game preservation, are we talking like just kind of saving physical copies and like copies of games and keeping it in almost like a museum?
Let's get real. Let's get real. Like emulation. That's how you preserve video games. Emulation.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go.
Wholeheartedly, 100% agree.
Emulation, especially for the fact that like if companies aren't going to be able to make these games, if they're going to stop making these games after a certain time and stuff like that, but there's obviously interest in playing these games and stuff like that. If you're not going to sell them, if you're not going to make it easy for us to like play the games, if you're not going to put in the work and like put your $500-$600 consoles to be able to like play this stuff, then why are you being assholes about the fact that someone like you hooked up a Raspberry Pi to their monitor and are playing your old ass games that you obviously don't care about?
I was going to say there's a particular publisher that's a huge offender of this. That's why I wanted to kind of bring this up. The way this is the background story, I guess, I don't know, but I had a yard sale like 2 weeks ago because I live across a senior center and they were having a yard sale. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put my shit out front too so I can make some money.
Smart.
And no one was buying anything, but I had like 2 Switch games out there because I just must have bought them on impulse and had no interest in playing them. And of course, the video games were like the only thing attracting attention. And two guys came over and like, oh, do you have more games? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I brought out some like DS games I don't play anymore, including some Kingdom Hearts numerical fraction whatever game. I just like couldn't.
Oh, that one, yes.
Well, I really loved Kingdom Hearts when it first came out, and then all this whatever. So they brought more and more out, and I realized like I could make some money, and so I decided to bring everything out. I had my old Game Boy Color, like my old N64 games. I brought my PS2 out. I'm not saying I sold everything, but I brought everything out, and it kind of made me think, okay, on one hand, I'm not a video game collector, but it's kind of cool to keep a lot of these old games, but eventually in time, no matter how well I package my PS2 or my N64, eventually that shit's not going to work anymore. So I sold some of them, not all of them, to these people because they're actually going to play it. So I felt all warm and fuzzy inside from that. But taking away from that, I'm working on a Boss Rush banter on this about who's responsible for game preservation. But I looked up how could we properly do it, and I read a lot about emulation, and that unfortunately some people, businesses, kind of don't appreciate when fans emulate using a ROM. Is that right, Laurent? I'm not very good with tech terms.
Does this certain publisher's name rhymes with Finn Bendo?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think I know.
See, I wasn't trying to
put my finger on it.
I wasn't trying to. I actually wasn't trying to take it there, but I was saying we're
already there.
Yeah, true. I was trying to say though, emulation is the best way to preserve games. Like, I don't understand why it's such a dirty word, like in the games industry, especially for like, like certain publishers are coming after people for basically, they're not even selling the ROMs. That's the crazy part. They're not selling the ROMs. Like, it's more like a library where people can check this shit out, and you know what? There's something right there too. I remember back in the day, I used to be able to go to like freaking libraries and check out Nintendo games and stuff like that. When it was Nintendo going after the libraries and stuff, like, back then, were they? No. Because like obviously nobody was
they were going after like rental places and stuff that they didn't have contracts with. I remember that was a big deal. I don't know about libraries, but I do know that, like, Blockbuster for a time was only selling or only renting like Genesis and Master System games because Nintendo was going after them.
I remember
as they should, because you know what?
Oh boy.
I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to say, like, sometimes
you are going to do this. Do it.
Sometimes, okay. Sometimes the decision-making process makes zero sense to me because here, like I said, ultimately, like, they're no longer making money off the stuff. If they want to make money off the stuff, they would put all this stuff on virtual consoles. And I understand the virtual console basically buried the Wii U. I get that. Because everybody was buying the Wii U just to play old school games. I get that.
It's the best place to play old Nintendo games, like in terms of like the sheer amount of like the library that's there, or you know what I mean, like
well, it's a system where you can play the most Legend of Zelda games.
You can play them all almost, except for the 3DS games. You can play them all.
But honestly, I just look at the fact that like, if you do not care enough to like resell these, and also resell them with common sense, it was awesome that Fire Emblem game for the NES was $7. It was not awesome that it was like only on the market for a month.
Yeah.
Just do common sense stuff. I'm not saying charge like dirt cheap for your stuff. I guarantee you, most people for anything going all the way. I'm gonna be nice. For anything as early as well, for anything pre Nintendo 64. They can probably get away with selling these rehashes of the ROMs, the cartridges, or whatever you want to call them, for no more than $10. Most people will spend that money. I really feel that, as opposed to spending $300 for certain cartridges, and stuff like that, and then then you can understand why. Well, somebody went to a website and wrote a ROM, and we're mad. You didn't even make the $300 that a reseller got for your damn cartridge. Why are you pissed?
So my entire Nintendo 64 collection, except for like 5 games, is complete in box, and I probably have like 30 or 40 N64 games. And I started selling some of them, and I was just like, I don't like. There's certain games that give me joy to look at, but like, I sold Paper Mario complete inbox, and I undercut a lot of people just because I wanted to get rid of it and like sell fast or whatever. For $180 I sold Paper Mario and complete inbox, and I was like,
that's nice.
And I was like, I sold.
How much was like the suggested price for it?
Some of them were going for about $200, a little bit more at the time. This was like a year ago, like right when the pandemic was like really hitting, And like I wanted the Xbox Series X, so I started to sell some stuff that I didn't care about, just to like, not waste any of my quote real money on it.
Yeah. I'm a collector, but I'm not collector enough. And you know what honestly hurt me would stop me from being a collector? I used to be one of those people that I would buy collector's editions for stuff, like when these games come out and stuff like that, because I wanted all the swag and all that stuff. You know what killed me on that? The Metal Gear Solid 4 collector's edition.
What was it? It was like that black sleeve with the two DVD, like the two Blu-rays in it, right? And then like a sleeve on it, like.
Yeah, well, that's what. That's what we got. That's what we got. But it was planned. It was planned for a lot more. And as it got closer and closer to shipping, we started getting news that like they were scaling back on some of the stuff that was in it. So ultimately, by the time it came out, like, my $90 pre-order didn't feel like it was substantial anymore.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Paper Mario is now worth almost $300.
Should have
Ooh.
waited. It's
Yeah,
fine.
so like I'm a collector, but I'm not collector enough. Like Corey, you know, you're one of the main reasons why, like, and I'm not saying this in a bad way or anything. You're one of the main reasons why I finally loosened up and I buy more digital stuff now than I buy physical.
Yeah,
Lame.
the thing
Lame.
Lame.
I just like
Josh and I on the podcast are very, very fanatical about physical copies because him and I are collectors, like to the nth degree. So
I like you know
the reason
if this is-
the reason why I started doing all digital stuff is because like my kid, to be honest, like I didn't like she's the one kid that would think a Switch cartridge tastes delicious. She's she's that kid, right?
No.
And so like I saw her like in here messing around with some physical Switch games and like taking them out. I was like, and this was when she was like 1-ish, right? So I was like, oh gosh, this is gonna be bad if I don't do something like this.
They're small enough.
Yeah. So I ended up getting rid of most of my physical copies of Switch games. I kept all the Zelda games. Like there's certain franchises where I will buy the physical copy just because it's like, I don't know, some dumb sentimental nostalgia reason. But what I've started doing probably especially with PlayStation and Xbox, because I started going all digital on that like a long time ago. Nintendo was like the last holdout. I started getting like statues of the games that like the franchises that I enjoy. Like I have an Aloy and a Kratos statue behind me. I have a bunch of Destiny crap and a bunch of Halo crap sitting over here. Like that's how I collect games now, is like these cool collectibles. Because like even physical copies of games, like 20, 30, 40 years from now, you're going to get like disc rot or I don't know, somebody's going to step on your disc and you're not going to have it. And then you're going to pay an arm and a leg, now, especially now, because like it seems like after like Black Friday, like that year's games are like they're just gone unless you go to GameStop and pay like whatever. But you know,
this is also a reason why I honestly wish that like when you buy a physical copy, you also get a digital copy of it, because like I think it's kind of a travesty that
I'm actually shocked that there's not like, okay, you want the physical edition, it's $60 or $70 or whatever, but if you want one that comes with a digital copy so you can keep your physical copy nice or whatever, it's like an extra $20 or something.
It's like how Blu-rays were. It's like how Blu-rays were when they first came out. Blu-rays were so high because you got you got a physical and a digital version of it,
and the DVD to take on the road in your DVD.
Oh yeah, that's
travel
if you spent
DVD.
$45. That's if you spent $45. You spent $35. You got the physical plus the digital.
Yeah, it's,
but I mean, like that's another thing that kind of burns me up though. Like it's like you like
look what you started, Stephanie.
Well, then that's good.
It's a good topic.
Remember about 10 minutes ago, she said, this isn't going to be as exciting as
boring,
soccer
guys."
fights.
Yeah.
Well, Stoy, you're the one that called me a nerd, and yes, I'm proud
I've
of
called everybody on this podcast a
Yeah,
nerd,
he has. I've been called a nerd 3 times tonight.
Yeah.
But I do have a question. This might be something that maybe I don't fully understand.
Mm-hmm.
With electronic copies of games, like for older systems, or like maybe if we look like 10, 20 years down the road, aren't companies kind of shutting down digital stores?
Yeah.
Some of them, depending on licensing, because so Xbox just took Forza Motorsport 7 off the digital store because of they didn't license the cars or the music in perpetuity. So like they had like a 5-year license for these cars or this music. Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah.
And once those licenses are up, they can't sell the game anymore because they don't have the car licenses anymore. Which is going to be fascinating because theoretically, the next Forza Motorsport is going to be a live service game, which we don't know that for sure, but that's theoretically what's going to happen, I think. And like you can't they don't really license cars in perpetuity, right? Like car companies just don't want to do that. And some car companies don't want you to, if there's car damage in your game, they don't want to license their car because they don't want their cars to get damaged, even in a digital space. And like the one thing for me is like, especially in terms of game preservation, a game like Destiny that's like a living game, right? That original version of Destiny just doesn't exist anymore. Even if you own the disc, like it just doesn't exist.
Like Destiny is not the same game it was when it launched.
There's no Dinklebot. There's no terrible leveling system. Like all that stuff that was in that original game is non-existent now. You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and even Destiny 2. If you loaded up Destiny 2 right now, the game that you start playing as a new character is not the same game that you start as a new character when the game launched. That original campaign in Destiny 2 is just not in the game anymore. They just took the whole thing out.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
The base vanilla campaign is not even in Destiny 2 anymore. So if you want to play the Red War campaign, you just can't play it anymore. You have to watch a YouTube video on it because it's just not there.
Oh.
And that's like a really interesting part of game preservation that I don't know if people really think about yet, is like pre-patched games, live service games, that kind of thing. Like what happens to those versions of the game, you know? Mm-hmm. It's just kind of sad, you know? And
forever.
I mean, the reason why they took that stuff out of Destiny, they changed engines and made engine upgrades and stuff, and they only had time to move certain assets over because of the pandemic and everything, and they had to cut content before eventually it's all going to be back, I think, at some point. But right now it's like, well, there's whole locations you can't go to. There's whole planets you can't visit anymore in Destiny because just things happen, you know? I don't know. But I think that's the interesting part of preservation that we haven't gotten to yet. So, I don't know. It's fascinating.
Yeah, that was a wonderful topic, Stephanie.
Yeah.
What a big topic.
Yeah, I just thought about it, and like for example, like with my DS and a couple of games I purchased online, like I kind of wonder when there will be a day where maybe that will be shut down, and does that mean I'll lose all those copies, and at least or until the device dies then? Mm-hmm. And
I mean, you look at the Wii. You look at the Wii, like the Wii store is gone. Like if you didn't download those games before the Wii store shut down, you just don't have those games anymore. You can't even go download them anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like also thinking, just real quick, do ports, even remakes or remasters, is that considered like a appropriate way to preserve games or not? But
I think so, because when you think about it, each passing generation wants to have a good experience with it. Because, if you tell someone to play Silent Hill 2 right now, it's going to be pretty janky. Or the original Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Real janky. So that's why you have a Resident Evil 2 remake for newer audiences. Mm-hmm. And that gets people interested, maybe even going back to play the original game.
Yeah, so. I think the remake stuff, especially for Final Fantasy VII and Resident Evil 2, remakes like that, is like, it's how you remember those old games, like how your mind wanted it to look back then. I feel like it really captures the spirit of those games while giving it like the modern, modern feel and stuff. Which I think is it. And you can still go back to the old games if you want to. I would really like them to just like. I'm kind of surprised actually that like Final Fantasy VII didn't just come with a version of the PS1 Final Fantasy VII. I think that would have been like a neat touch. Are you playing with your doll, Stoy? Is this what I'm watching right now? Is we're having a nice, serious conversation about
that probably
game
doesn't
preservation.
Look good. That's not a good hand raise. I don't
God.
That down. God. No, that is kind of interesting. I almost wish games would do that, where they would give you like the vanilla version. Like Resident Evil 2 remake would have been cool, but I can almost like understand, and I think a lot of the reason maybe why emulation doesn't work for the major publishers, it could be licensing and trademark. We're talking like development teams that maybe trademarked the game and they don't have the rights. The companies don't have the rights to it.
I mean, that's why
I know there's a moratorium on a lot of that stuff. So like I think like 20 or 30 years. So that's why these retro systems can actually sell retro systems. So like you can actually buy a retro Nintendo system, from a third party company, or like a Super Nintendo system, whatever, because it's like something with the moratorium of the licensing. So,
and I mean that's why it's so hard to license the classic Ninja Turtles games is because like the licensing for those old Ninja Turtles games exists in like 4 or 5 different places. You know, the music in those games exists with one company. The game like the game publishing exists with Konami. The license to those old games exists with like RIM or something, IRM. And it's like, well, we're just never going to get Turtles in Time or Hyperstone Heist or those NES games. Like, we're just never going to get those games again. And it sucks because, you know,
that's why you go physical.
I have all those games.
I
have all those games physically.
That is true. That's the number one
game
argument.
Preservation. It's game preservation at its finest.
I also replaced.
It becomes a problem when you're sitting here saying you want an inbox copy of Hyperstone Heist, and then when you find out how much an inbox copy of Hyperstone Heist is, it's going to piss you off because it's like...
It doesn't piss me off because it's in my basement right now.
Well, it doesn't piss me off either because I have it too. But like, if you didn't have it, but you like, oh man, I really want to play that game again, you find out it's like $300.
Yeah.
You know, that's the nature. That's the nature of the beast, and you know, a lot of people have to straddle that line because they're purists out there. You know, they're purists out there. They want the physical copy, but they also want to play the game. So you know, like they have to figure out like where they're willing to, you know, jump through the hoops for it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to like emulation versus physical and physical versus emulation, and you know, just going out there and basically like, you know, wrecking your kid's college fund just so you can play like Super Mario, like the Super Mario All Stars from Super NES.
Well, I think the thing too that people are going to start noticing is like, I mean, we kind of already touched on it, but like cartridge-based games they're easier to fix than, like, the systems are easier to fix than disc-based systems or even digital systems. Like, you think about the NES, like, I replaced the pins in the NES and put a new power supply in it, and it works fine.
So easy now, yeah.
It works fine.
It's easy now, yeah.
Yeah, it works better than the day I got it. Like, literally better than the day I got it because you had to like slam the cartridge in and blow in it and stuff. And now I don't have to blow in the cartridge anymore.
I miss the simple days of 80s and early 90s electronics. Like, we shoot. Like I'm an IT guy and I build computers and some of the crap I go through just to some of the crap I went through just to breathe like a few months extra life into my PlayStation 3 is ridiculous.
But like you look at the Wii, like the Wii U is an example of something that I've been thinking about recently because I got it on launch day, but that console is approaching 10 years old. That tablet isn't going to last forever. Right, that touchscreen is. You
probably have stuck pixels in it right now, don't you?
I don't know. I haven't really turned it on in a while. You know, like I've turned it on once because like I wanted to play Wind Waker, but I played it with the Wii U Pro controller. I didn't play it with the tablet. But like, yeah, I mean, that tablet's gonna die before the console does.
Because I know the other day I turned on my PS Vita and I found the stuck pixel and I about had a fit.
No. Or even the Switch. One day you're not going to be able to play that console undocked because that screen's going to die.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, it's sad to think about like the one company that everybody has so much nostalgia for, like the newer consoles from them are just going to like be useless.
Well, yeah, I think that's where third-party companies will kind of take the reins.
Yeah,
you know, and start building some retro systems for those. I'm currently waiting on my Polymega system. I think it's supposed to play Sega Saturn, Sega CD games, and PlayStation games.
Oh, I've seen those. I've seen those.
Yeah, that was a big.
I pre-ordered that like last year.
That was a big deal because Sega Saturn is like notoriously hard to emulate.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited for that. So that, I mean, hopefully that should be arriving at my door sometime next month.
But. How much?
And then we got the Dreamcast where all you had to do was like put the Bleemcast disc in, and then you could play anything you wanted.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much. All my friends had that. Ooh. I think that's why that system died.
Yeah, it is why that system died. Everybody bought the console and burned all their games.
Yeah, right. I'm kidding.
Ooh, this thing's $800. Ooh.
Dreamcast.
Polymega.
Wait. Well, I clicked on the bundle. Like, apparently the bundle gets you the NES, the Super NES, and the Super Famicom, the Mega Drive, the Genesis 32X, and PCE. PCE. What console is that?
Oh, I think that was
Isn't that the Turbo Graphics?
PC. Yeah,
PC
PCI,
Engine.
I thought that was
The PC
Yeah.
Engine.
SGX and TG16 is Turbo Graphics. Okay.
I forget. I know I pre-ordered it and I spent $300 for it. And it came with like the disc drive in it, and obviously the cartridges and stuff, and then their third-party controller that they made. But this same company is actually making a light gun for LCD and modern
Yeah, I saw that.
TVs.
Yeah.
So pretty excited for that. Play some Time Crisis. Basement.
Oh wait, and it'll play the original. Like I see this one's for Super NES. It'll play the original cartridges.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like their whole
I
thing.
have a Retron 5 that's what I literally use when I want to play retro games.
Yeah.
With modern technology like save states.
Gotcha.
You can do on the spot upscaling of graphics.
I mean,
Amazing.
I jailbroke my Vita.
Wow.
That's how I discovered my stuck pixel because I turned my Vita on.
That was your
for, like, the first
punishment.
time. I turned my Vita on for like the first time in like
You're
2
not
years.
supposed to do that.
Wow. Well, that was a great topic.
Yeah,
It was.
It was a great topic.
Yay.
Good job, Stephanie. A plus.
Stephanie bringing that thunder.
Nerd.
I
Anyways,
didn't
Proud
say
of
it this time. I didn't say it this time.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a consensus that we're all nerds.
it's fine.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's fine. We're going to wrap the show, though. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to the return of the Boss Rush podcast. Again, I apologize for being kind of tired and under the weather. It's fine.
You look like you're gonna fall over, man.
I'm not going to lie.
You got multiple babies and you're working like crucial jobs.
I've been really thinking about just sleeping at my desk. Just gonna-
Do it.
That's how you lose your job, Corey.
No, it's fine.
Eh.
I don't have
That'll
a
be
desk
fine.
at work, by the way.
Uh,
It's like a shared space. It's gross. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. If you like the show, please subscribe to the Boss Rush YouTube channel. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star rating and a nice review. It will really help us out. Stephanie, Stoy, Laron, I appreciate your time. Stoy, where can we find you?
Well, you can follow me on Arsenal X, the Boss Rush podcast, where we talk all about Xbox. And you can follow me at EXPcast. That's my other flagship podcast. We record episodes every Monday and Thursday. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EXPcast.
Nice. Stephanie, where can we find you?
I am on many of the social medias, but I guess you could follow me on Twitter at Klimov_author. And I, as mentioned, I write for Boss Rush, and you'll see me in my articles there. See, I'm too tired. I'm starting to like lose track of how I'm constructing my
You
sentences.
can see me in my articles.
in my articles. Yeah, so check them out.
Laron.
All right. You can catch me every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/Xs803 for Crossroads PlayStation Podcast, where I'm one of 4 co-hosts on the show, and also Xs803. That's my YouTube channel as well as my gamer tag. So don't forget it. EXODUS803.
Nice. You can find me at I am Corey HC on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast. You can find me hosting Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. And you can find me doing other things here on this here internet. Thank everybody so much for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Take
Steven
care.
says bye too.
Bye.
God, it's so close. It's so close.
Those piercing eyes.
I'm so uncomfortable.